Alright, hello and welcome to DevSpot. Today I'm going to be showing you how to use JavaScript string methods, and this is just going to be the basics. These are skills that you really need to have if you want to have a fundamental understanding of how to use JavaScript, and all these methods are super handy in the real world. So let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing to know is that in JavaScript, methods and properties are also available for primitive types. So that works for strings such as this. So because strings are treated as objects, we now have methods that we can use on them. So let's go ahead and define a string here. We'll call it test string, and we will give it a value of test string. Sweet. And the first one I'm going to show you is the string length. So I'm just going to go ahead and console log everything just so you can see. So the first one here, we'll go the length, and we will concatenate the, so you're going to go ahead and call that variable we just created, test string, and there's a method called length that you can use. And this is simply going to return the length of the string that we have input here. So if we have test string here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 letters. So we should see that the length of this string is 10. So let's run it and let's see. Sweet. So we have a length of 10, as you can see. So that one's pretty basic. That's just string length. It's handy when maybe you have like a for loop or something you need to iterate over a string. Similar to arrays, you can use the length property here to get the size of the given string. Another cool method that they have is slice. So let's go ahead and console log. We'll set this as slice. And the way you use slice is, so basically you have to give, the method two parameters, and that would be the start position and the ending position. And it's going to slice out the portion of that string based on those indexes that you give. So I'll show you an example here. So let's do test string slice. Let's go from position 2 through 6 and see what that gives us. Let's go ahead and run it. Sweet. So you can see here, so we got st back. So why is that? Well, that's because right here, so at index 2, we're going to slice it up to 6, okay? And that's going to return us this st. So we can move this around too. Let's say we want position 8. See? It extends that string out a little bit. Pretty handy. So that is how slice is used. Let's go to the next one. Let's take a look at replace. Yes, this is a good one. So this is the replace method. So console log, let's go with replace. So as usual, you have to call that string variable that we set up top, and we're going to go replace, and then within the parentheses, so you're going to choose the item within the string that you want to replace with the new value that you want to assign to it. So let's say we want to change test here to I don't know, give me a second to think while I type here. Test, let's replace it with new. So it should say new string, okay? Let's go ahead and give this a test. So there you go. You can see that it is returning new string. The thing that's interesting about this though is it doesn't actually change this string, it creates a new string. So it doesn't actually modify the test string that we have set up here. It's simply creating a new string and returning that value. So keep that in mind when you're using it. And then there's two more. These are pretty basic here. So this is just the ways that you can go about changing your strings to uppercase or lowercase. So it's pretty basic, this one is, but I'll still show you. So let's call test string dot, and all you do is to uppercase, okay? Let's go ahead and run that. So it should be all uppercase now, and there you go, you can see. And then if I do it with lower to lowercase, let's check that out. So it should be all lowercase letters, and it is. So cool. Those are some of the basic methods that you can use on strings. And there's another method that I'm going to show you here with a little more of like a real world example here. And that is the split method. So, that is not how you spell split. Okay, so down to the next one here. Let's say we have, for example, let's say you have a comma separated string that you're getting returned from a database or something. Say it's a comma separated string of email addresses or items or something like that. So let's create that here. Comma separated string, and we will set it as, let's just go with item 1, item 2, item 3, okay? So now we have 3 items within our comma separated string that is being returned to us. But let's say we want to actually access certain items within this string at their index. How would you do that? You can use a method called split, and this is going to split the string into different indexes. It'll create a new array from this string, and each item that is within the value that you give the split function, it will create an array based on that. And I'm not sure if that made any sense or if that was just verbal junk, but let's see here. So we have let new array equal comma separated string dot split. And so in this case, we're wanting to split on our commas there to get each value that's in between the commas, okay? And this is going to create a new array that we can actually access each element. So let's console, oops, man, all over the place here. Console log. So let's just console log. So this will be the array. I'll just show you how it outputs the array. New array. Let's run this. So you can see that it outputs, but I mean, you could say, hey, that's just a string. So I'll show you here, you can access each item individually. So if we want, let's say we want item 1 here. So that'll be at our 0th index. So you can access that by doing so using this notation here. You're accessing that first element within your array. So it should just output item 1. Sweet, and it does. And that'll work for each element in your array. So if you want that second position one right here, item 2, you go ahead and put that first position, and boom, there you go. And just to show you it works for all, you can get that third position item, item 3. Pretty neat, huh? So if you are ever in need of creating an array from a string that's separated by a certain character like this, you can go ahead and use the split method. And yet, I mean, it works for any. So let's say, I mean, we could use some random character like a left parenthesis for an example here. So all you would do is say, hey, I want to split on a left parenthesis, and we should get the same output. See, item 3. And actually, I will just output the array, and you can see here that yes, indeed, we are just outputting the array. So you can see how, so last time I did this, it still had the comma, because that's obviously how it's going to output it. But you can see here that it created the array, and it's just outputting the array there for us based on this character here that's splitting on. So yeah, that is a short little video here for you on the basics of string methods. I hope you found this useful. You can obviously go way more in depth on these, and there's a lot of really good use cases for a bunch of string methods. It's really handy to have your strings be treated as objects and such that you can obviously use all these methods on it. Really handy. So hopefully this was helpful. If it was, please comment down below. Let me know what else you'd want to know. Consider subscribing. Yeah, so thanks for tuning in.